गजाननं भूत गणादिसेवितं कपित जम्बू फलचारु भक्षितं That's the original sloka, Phalasara Bhakshanam. If you offer, he should eat, So we say Phala Charu Bhakshitam. Making juice out of it and drinking the fruits of all our karmas. It's a little different from what is usually followed. Gajananam Bhuta Ganadisevitam Kapita Jambu Palacharu Bhakshitam Umasutam Shoka Vinashakaranam Namami Vigneshwara Pada Pankajam Dhyanamoolam Gurormurtim Pujamoolam Gurorpadam Mantramoolam Gurorvakyam Mokshamoolam Gurorkripa Saraswati Namastuvyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatame Sada. Friends, the ascendance and descendance is possible only in the lunar system. You can't expect sun to be half full, or no Sunday, new Sunday. You can't expect that in sun. So also your power of Atman, which represents your awareness, is always full. That is equal to Surya. But just like the lunar system, that awareness becomes conscious of something. Instead of retaining the consciousness, it descends to the level of mind. So this lunar system represents your mind. Then dreaming, desiring, thinking, it thinks that it can execute so many things. So the physical system acts whether irrespective of emotions or plan or thinking. This great Uttarayana Punyakala today is full moon day. The Chandra is also represented by the ocean. So you will find the waves different on these 2 days. But it doesn't want to hurt on full moon day. It waits for Prathama or Amavasya next day. So the after effects of whatever it wants to do happens only on the next day. The effects will be felt by humans. It's felt only on the next day by humans. If you take a survey of the whole world, whoever dies, they would have actually died on these 2 days only. Prathama. Paurnami Amavasya we say, but if you calculate, it will be a little this side. I am not talking about death physically, but we have to also face reality. The physical death is there when you are taking birth. Once you are born, that day itself, this body cannot remain, whether he is even an avatar having a body or a Chiranjeevi having a body. Not this man, what do you call Hanuman, Chiranjeevi, it's all in the other levels of body. It's not a physical flesh and blood. Chiranjeevi ಆಗಿರುವವರ ಬಾಡಿ ಕೂಡ flesh and blood alla anta. So that which contains flesh and blood has to vanish. But it may or it may not take birth again, depending upon the achievement and merger with divinity. So all are moving towards this, not to take one more janma, but they have so many desires to achieve in this world. Everyone wants to achieve something. So these earthly desires bring them back to a flesh and blood case. ದೇಹದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಂಸ ಪಿಂಡ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ದೇಹದಲ್ಲಿ, ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ದೇಹದಲ್ಲಿ ಪುನರಾವರ್ತ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದೊಂದು ಗೂಡು. So we can decide whether we want or not, it's so easy to decide by a man whether he wants to come back, whether anything is there to achieve. What is there? We don't know still. On this day, I declare that I can't dedicate because there is nothing to dedicate. I declare openly that the entire world has to survive. If those people have to survive, they have to follow what we have in global education and training movement, and that is the ultimate global solution. Tarabeti alla training alla movement adu all have to depend on this. All, if they have to survive, they have to live by what is there in that. My words are like this. I am declaring today that on this Chitra Purnami day that if at all those people who survive, those who are surviving, they will all have to depend on global education and training movement, what we have in global education and training movement, and this I declare as the ultimate global solution. That is the word I used, I think. So there are many things throughout the world, yoga, so many other things they try to solve or manage, but that is not the answer. First, suppose you have a headache, for an example. The feeling of headache itself is the surfacing of ego. Then that feeling of headache from the awareness state, if it comes to consciousness, or if you are conscious of headache, you get increased headache. Then there is a problem of solving it without knowing the reason. Whatever society follows, you follow, and you try to solve the problem which just suppresses the surface. The surface is not eradicated. Surface is still there because you had the headache, you think that the society follows this, I also have to follow this. Then without erasing the main problem from your head, that the surfacing itself has to be eradicated, not the headache. But we take something which society follows that suppresses the surface, and this surface can erupt once again, as long as you are aware, as long as you are conscious that this is there. So never recognize. Then headache may come, vanish. Catch the vanishing point at least, you are there. Then it will start vanishing instead of appearing. But what we do is, we are aware of the pain, not the absence of pain, which is our state. Any moment in your life you test it, whether you have money, you don't have money, you are hungry, all your plans fail. But what happens, you will see that there is a hand of divine, or if you don't want to accept, there is a coincidence which gives you, feeds you, takes care of you at appropriate moments all the time in your life, in spite of planning, desiring, dreaming. What happens is a little different. So man has to be only take note of three things in life. That he doesn't work comes out of him. Because the full support system is divine. It is, even if I want to lift this, unless there is a support system, this hand has to reach, means you have to have a support system. Then comes whatever his mind dreams, decides, or emotes. These are all farce, but he can spend time maybe. Whatever he thinks of good deeds, at least, rather than so much of time wasted. you should eat this at that place. Yeah, suppose someone says you should have a nasib to go there, or someone should reach you there. Just by dreaming and desiring, you develop something which cannot be executed. The execution is in the hands, and at that time of providing, you should eat that there. You should have a taste for it. Suppose you are full of stomach, if you have a bad taste in your mouth, you can't eat there. So everything is beautifully designed, and nothing works by itself in this world. You can only maintain accounts, create accounts, plan accounts in the accounts business, or in the day-to-day life, budgets, or planning for food, this, that. Nothing works. But still, we have to spend time, we are doing it. ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ಆ ಫುಡ್ಡು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೈಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಕೂಡ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಟೇಸ್ಟ್, ಸೊ ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ಯು ಟು ಬಿ ನಿರಾಶಾ ಆರ್ ನಿಷ್ಕಾಮ್ಯ. I just don't want to tell about this. But if you know this, you know that. If you don't know this, you are wasting time on this earth. Because every moment you are living, you know what's going to happen. I am an Indian citizen. You have rights to be an Indian citizen. But what happens to Indian citizen is run by God, not by constitution, not by politics, not by anyone else. It can't be. It's running by a system. The constitution is not Indian constitution then. Only we can pose. I don't say you should not say that you are an Indian citizen, I am God's citizen. I don't want to say. But know that someone runs, then you will pay respect to Indian constitution, you will act as per Indian laws, but you know that someone runs. So if you know that God runs, then you can pay respect to Indian constitution. If you don't know that God runs even India or anywhere else, then what happens is you will fight this Horata, that Pratighatane, this fight, that fight, fighting for rights, this, that. You create more enemies, and there lies more website. Even while shouting, don't pump out your emotions. Just hold, be calm, and shout. Nothing happens. The words become mere vibrations which enter into Akash, the space. Otherwise, each word creates another man's enmity. Each word, I think, get a repulsion from another word. Bring coffee, I will not bring. Take the toothpaste, I will not. Immediately the other person repulses. Take anything in this world, it invites an opposite remark from others. Afterwards they may do, but immediately they don't want to do because their ego is in the forefront. So what I say is, even if you want to shout, hold and shout, nothing happens. It goes to the sky. Now all of you are calm. I think you can't be angry or you can't be moving also mentally. Manasa illa nimge ivaga. So shout with me. Jai Shankar! Jai Shankar! The world will have a effect, but it has gone to sky. Are you all still peaceful? You don't feel emoting and honestly, you tell me who. Anyone's all are felt peaceful or so it's so simple to shout at the people who don't work for you, this, that. But hold, nothing happens. It will not create a reaction from that person. So these are all small tips, but it may help you in life. So 2 things I told you. The third thing is, what are the 2 things I told you? 3 things I will tell you I told you. First thing is, we don't do anything.
Work is done from inside.
Sorry, second? Third is, there is a state of static state of existence in all of us. Even after we told this New Year, even TVs like BBC World is talking about deep spirituality, transcendence. Transcendence. So media is also fastly changing as per the Sankalpa by Kendra. Otherwise, there is no need for media. We don't think that it's all necessary. If they are going to promote sins in the form of entertainment, I don't think it's necessary. So religion starts with creator. It doesn't have any transcendence in religion. Are you all following what I am saying? Are you not comfortable? All of you are comfortable? Religion starts with creator, creation, Jagat, all those things. It doesn't talk about transcendence, any religion, except the original Indian thought, Bharatiya thought. They have their meaning behind all the religions, all the words they use. ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸೆಂಡೆಂಟಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಸಂಕ್ರಮಣ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಾ? ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ರಮಗಳು ಸಮ್ಯಕ್ಕಾಗಿರುವತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್, ಸಂಕ್ರಮ ಸ್ಥಿತಿ. ದಿ ಮೇಜರ್ ರಿಲಿಜನ್ ಆಫ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಅಲ್ಲಾಹ್. ಅಲ್ಲಾಹ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟರ್ ಹೂ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸೀನ್. Christianity talks about Jesus, Father in heaven and all. And Xavier, because there is no need for creator's work. There is need for Palana Adhikari, one who protects, one who saves. So Xavier is what is told, more stressed upon. And these are the major religions today followed. But why all this started? To make man more rule oriented, disciplined. But if you pay heed to your heart, then Allah Ta'ala say, दुआ मांगो, मन्नत तो मांगो, कुछ परवाह नहीं, मगर जन्नत मांगो. You understood? Allah Ta'ala, you ask God for what do you call that? Benefits, dua. Your benefits only usually we dua मांगता means शादी के लिए, उसके लिए, इसके लिए, निकाह के लिए. यू आस्क फॉर दुआ, उसमें कुछ परवाह नहीं. मन्नत मांगो, मन्नत मांगो, कुछ परवाह नहीं, फिर जन्नत मांगो. मीन्स यू आस्क हिज प्लेस वेयर ही लिव्स, सो दैट ऑल अदर थिंग्स ही विल लुक आफ्टर. मन्नत मांगने में कुछ परवाह नहीं है, फिर जन्नत मांगो. ಅವನೇ ರನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಜನ್ನತ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ರನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಲೈಫ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಟಿಯಾನಿಟಿ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೆವನ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎನಿವೇರ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಹಾರ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ದಟ್ ದಿ ಝೇವಿಯರ್ ಈಸ್ ದೇರ್. ಹಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಸ್, ಹಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ರನ್ ಅವರ್ ಲೈಫ್. ಬಾಕಿ ಜಗತ್ವಂತೆ ಭಕ್ತಾನುಪ್ರಿಯಕಾರಿಣಿ. It's a beautiful shloka where Devi is told, now is the rule of Meenakshi from day for yesterday in Madurai. She means whole world she is ruling. But for 6 months the other man will rule, Sundareshwara. Then 6 months she will take over after Chaitra festival. Someday she will take over. That day for yesterday she took over. I am saying this Meenakshi, whatever it is, Devi, there is a beautiful shloka which says that if you believe and do vandana, means surrender and pay respect to this Devi, Jagat Vante, she is already, whole world is doing namaskar to her, vandana to her. If you know that she does this, then Bhaktanupriyakarini, she will do what is ishta for even bhaktas. So we call this moksha mangi, moksha kami. ಅರ್ಥಕಾಮ, ಮೋಕ್ಷಕಾಮ, ಅಕಾಮ. ಅದು ಯಾವ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ರೇನು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ರಿಯಲ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅರ್ಥ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಮನಿ, ವೆಲ್ತ್, ಹಣ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಟೆಡ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಅರ್ಥಕಾಮ ಅಂದರೆ ವಿ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಗಾಡ್. ಬಟ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಫ್. ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಯು ಎವರ್ ಟ್ರೈಡ್? ಈವನ್ ಇನ್ ತಮಿಳ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಪೊರುಳ್. Porul is not something to be carried. Porul means meaning. But without knowing this Arthakama, what are you going to ask God about? What is it? So I told Arthakama should be substituted with Mokshakama. So once Mokshakama, you demand moksha, what happens is God knows your limitations, God knows your plus points, God knows how much capacity you have got. God will not disturb your anything, but He will give the best. Otherwise we will rush and waste some song I sang last thing also. Like that we will be only burning, thinking that we are releasing. But everything will be burning. Time will be burning. Understand? So He knows man has each has of senses, man has each has of mind, and his capacity, his plus. He knows, so He executes so that He takes him on his lap. Then comes Akama. Akama means there is no Kama. That state is the state of transcendence. So that you have to achieve. So all other things are by the way. If a body is having sweat, it will have dandruff. If you have teeth, you may have to maintain it. All these things are not problems which troubles you from holding you as Atman. ಅದರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಏನೋ ಇದನ್ನೇ ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆಯಿಂದ ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲವರೆಗೆ. ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಈವ್ನಿಂಗ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಡೂ ಇಸ್ ಈ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಬಂದಲ್ಲ ವಿ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಒಟ್ಟು ಸ್ವಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗೋಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಎನಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಶೂಟ್. ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್. For my understanding, even if you are Jnanis, you have to tell us. Create a question. என்ன பாட்டு சொல்லுங்க? அது ஸ்டொமக் இஸ் லார்ட்ஸ் கிரியேஷன். அது அப்படியே எடுத்துட்டா லிட்டரரியாக ஒரு மாதிரி இருக்கும். அதனால் இடுப்பு கீழே அடுப்பில் ஒரு நெருப்பு. இவன் புத்தியை கொள்ளிக்கு விறகு கட்ட மாதிரி வைக்கிறான். ஹீ திங்ஸ் தட் அது நனைஞ்சுட்டு இருக்குன்னுட்டு, பட் அது எரிஞ்சுட்டு இருக்கு அப்படின்ட்டு. அது ரொம்ப ராவாக தெரியும் வெளியில் பார்க்கும்போது. பட் பிகாஸ் மேன் ஃபீல்ஸ் as I put it, no, ரொம்ப வெந்து போச்சுன்னா கோல்டு ஷவர் அவனுக்கு ரிலீஸ் கொடுக்குறது. நிறைய சாப்பிட்டான்னா வெளியில் போகிறது ரிலீஸ் கொடுக்குறது. அந்த மாதிரி ஒவ்வொன்று ரிலீஸ்னு வச்சுட்டுருக்கான். பட் இட்ஸ் ஒன்லி ரெப்படேஷன் அண்ட் கிரியேட்டிங் மோர் கர்மாஸ் அப்படிங்கிறது சொல்ல வந்தேன். புரிஞ்சு இல்லையா உங்களுக்கு? எது inference is stomach from stomach of Vishnu. Lord Brahma comes as per Indian thought of what do you call Srishti. Below that is the Loka Jagat. It is only an adupu. For burning your karmas, Lord has created full Jagat. He is in the tree of the. He can play with the world. That was the word English I used. He can play with this world in any way he likes. No, that is a big question, but we have a lot of karuna. 1105 I told I am replacing the word Pralayankara with Karunakara for this purpose. Otherwise our song was Pralayankara. This season is such that It's not for us, it's not for. When someone wanted to go somewhere, they asked me. If your mind is static, go anywhere, nothing will happen. Someone wanted to go to foreign country, to them also I told. If your mind is static, don't get panicky. Whole world may run away from your apartment, something, this, that. But don't get panicky. If you are believing in God, He can kill you on the road if He wants. Why you should panic? Sit there and be static. You need not even demand because you are already Karuna Valaya, I told. You are already protected. Don't doubt this, I told. So if you can be static at all the moments, nothing happens. Even physically, no one will trouble us. Because even that ticket we are not giving for some time. This world has to depend on many people in future, belonging to Kendra also, belonging to the moment also. That doesn't mean that the whole world is going to vanish, but maybe a lot of whatever they have believed, that's only a creation. Suppose I say that I am having muscle power. Muscle power is also subject to weakness of muscle or one muscular contraction, maybe taking a long time. And nowadays people don't know. They go by scooters and tearing of muscles. Muscle, what is it? Tearing? Nerves, ligament. Anything, the muscle may not cooperate with muscle power also. So money power, they only will earn like our market people, Morning to evening they will see and their stomach is full of money. They have no time to eat. Like our friends in intelligent information technology industry. They work so much, all nowadays. They don't have time. They're so busy, and I don't say, but still, these are all for fun, I am saying. But if you understand life, I don't know why man wastes his life in many things. That's why I told you, don't run away from office, run away from anything. Let all this happen, but know this side, so that nothing shakes us. Tomorrow suppose something happens, you are out of that place and you can run your business. So far that was your center. Now you are the center, you would have known. You understand? I think that house is my center of operation, relaxing. I think that office is my center of operation. I think money is the center through which I transact with this world. What I tell you is, you are the center. So that whether you are in the office, you are the center. You are at home, you are the center. You are transacting with money, you are the center. Not those. That only Kendra tries to tell you. Others try to make you escape. Depend on God, He will give you this. Depend on that, they will give you this. Unless you know that you are the center. Whoever gives what? I like this horse. 500 horses that fellow sends me. What will I do with 500 horses? Mannat manga, wo aa jayega, ye aa jayega. Okay, let it go. What will I do with that? Because I don't know that whether I am capable of. Even to make friendship of one horse, it takes a lot of time. It kicks you, it bites you. Really, if you go to palace where they teach, the smell it doesn't like of humans. So if you go to Hoskote farm, stud farm and all, the new man it will never allow. Just by wishing, I want Arabian horse, I want this horse. Even if he sends you, God sends you, I am asking what will we do with it? So we should understand the nature and its play. Then whatever is good, it will be provided. Now you understand the difference what global education teaches. If you are in the office, execute the duties, but you are the center. At home, home is not the center, you are the center. When you deal with money, money only is not the center, money you are dealing, you are the center. So this makes the total difference which is told only by us. Tomorrow even if someone copies, that strength will not be there. So this is, the words are powerful here. No other person in the world can claim now. Even if he says they will be considered as God, a guru, and they will put them in some other pedestal, these fellows will remain as gulams. God will do, guru will do, what will do. This word gives you immediately the power to be the center. Suppose Lord Krishna comes and tells you also, Lord Krishna is there to look after me. This fellow will pass the bucks on you and he will do whatever he wants. Something like repentance and telling God and saying that my sin is forgiven. It's not so in our religion. Just Gopura Darshanam, Papanashanam. Gopura is from where eye starts. நான் அப்படிங்கிறது எங்கே கிளம்புறதோ அதுதான் கோபுரம். சும்மா எங்கே இருக்கோன்னு பார்த்தாலே அது பாப்பமெல்லாம் போய்டுறது. அப்படியும் நம்பிக்கை இல்லையா? சிவநாமோச்சாரணம், குருநாமோச்சாரணம், பாபநாசனம், சர்வ வியாதி பிரசமனம், லைக் தட் ஐ டோல்ட் யூ, சர்வ பாப உபசமனம், அகால மிருத்யுஹரணம், சமஸ்த பாப க்ஷயகரம். So everything is already told by Indian seers. The seekers don't believe it. So they can't, no one can make a seeker believe, I am a seeker means I am seeking something of my intelligence. That is limited, so how will I grasp anything? But a seer is different, he just sees. So that is where the transcendence is, and you can be that. Understand, everything in this world is so easily told, and it's not a repetition now. What we are saying is not even told for the past so many years. Whatever we are saying, it's not an interpretation of what is being told. It's Swanubhuti, Swadhyaya, as if you are. It's not even in the field of experience. It's much beyond. Any more?
Why we have difficulty in understanding this names?
Another?
Why we have difficulty in understanding this name? Everything is predestined. Why we have difficulty in understanding that?
No, so because we are trained or we are made to believe in this world. Suppose I have passed out of my college. Then someone says that, come on, do some work. Someone introduces me to some job. Then my mother or father says, Manchi Karma, your destiny is very nice, and such a nice company, these fellows will not give any job. You go, join. So I don't understand, but with my fathers or mothers, once I enter into that office, then they try to tell me. They will not tell what the CEO or other person with the shaking legs doing. They will be teaching us from 1 to 10. They will not reveal any more things. So we will be going on understanding this. Then we will never understand what this company is. Why? What are we doing with this company? You understand this? When we can't understand a small job like this, how will we understand destiny? There's nothing to understand, because we are made to believe that we are working for this company. That is the first misunderstanding. So destiny is misunderstood because we are thinking that there is a destiny for us. Even though we are born to get freed. We are born to get freed. We think that we are Shanmugam, finished. Then we Shanmugam, we are Shanmugam. There are 1 lakh Shanmugams. Armugam. All Tiruchendur fellows are Armugams. But still we think that we are the only Armugam. And connected Armugam business comes. So we can't escape from this because we are trained and to believe that this is mean, this is mine. So we are born free, and we are born to be freed only. If you know this, then no destiny can hold us. There's nothing to understand in destiny.
No, sir, this bodily diseases and all, they don't find the Atma who transfer into autonomous state and all. Does that mean that we really don't have to take care of the bodily diseases like this?
No, whether you, I don't say though, but even if you want to take care, just like your hunger, you feel you take food. I don't say don't take it. But both of you, both that activity should happen in you. The hunger I feel, food I am taking. If you are conscious, then it's perfect. So also these bodily diseases, when you are attending, know that I gave you a mantra, I am all right. To become all right, you need not do anything. I am having disease is the first system, which will be supported by I am going to get all right. These two you don't feel. I am all right. That is the mantra. Only towards that everyone moves. I am okay. I am okay. This I am all right if you, otherwise if you can't, you have a tape recorder or if you have 5 people, one person. Even if anything happens, they should tell that nothing, everything is always all right. I told you this example now. A dog will get vibration. Suppose I think that this dog will bark. It will definitely bark at me. Suppose I have an auto-suggestion, this dog will bark, but I will not be afraid. Then dog will shake its tail and bark. It will not make a charge. But if you think that whatever happens, let it happen. Everything is always all right. The dog will rush first, vanish. Dog existence is true. It runs by vibration, it is true. It also supports your auto-suggestion, that is also true. But all these things, the situation itself runs away only when you know that I am always all right. It's not a false suggestion. Pichi kaadu adi. Pichi ante what is it? Mad. Even if Ramarajya comes, some idiot, some dhobi will come and tell that it is Pichi Rajyam. So there is nothing mad about anything except in the thinking of people. I am always all right. I don't want you to tell this out also, but if you have people just to instill faith in you, if they can tell you this, I think that puts you back to the state of I am all right. Then anything else is, it doesn't matter. Whole life, if you see, we want to know only this. I am always all right. For that, we use that Varagakata and escape the situations instead of facing it and getting burnt. You understand this now? Even if Krishna comes, these fellows will talk nonsense. If Rama comes, they will nonsense. They are all so scandalized. People are so used to scandalize and they are so corrupt mentally that they want to create names for anyone. But they know that they are right, Rama or Krishna, whoever it is. If they will also lose confidence, that's a problem. Then why did Rama do hearing a word of Dhobi? Ramayana itself will not happen if all these time framed things do not come. And everything is a mystical happening, it's not a story. So if you take that, Dhobi is karma. You do this karma, you wash this karma. Then it becomes dirty. Once again you do this karma, another karma. This karma will put blame on the purity of Prakriti. Karma will say that even today there are a lot of gurus who say that your karma cannot be mitigated. Then only I came out with the answer. Even if you are going to suffer from karma, if Guru or God decides, it can be put in your dream for one intense second and be removed. It's not a very great thing for time to do it. So people make you fear of this fate and how you put it, destiny and all this. Why I am saying this?
It's about the state of being alright and all. That will be questioned actually.
So don't. So Dhobi is what? The karma theory people who try to put it. And Prakriti comes and says that I am always pure. It can enter into fire and come out without getting scathed. Prakriti is a creation of Atman, divinity. It can't be burnt. So to prove that these things happen. This meaning is not given in Ramayana or by those people who interpret, except we are here to tell this kind of meaning so that it doesn't disturb Rama's state of highest avatarhood. Any other thing? Gopuram is of different madis. What do you call that? Huh? Question is கோபுரத்தை பற்றி சொன்னாலே என்னதுங்கிறார். அவுட் சைடில் வந்து ராஜகோபுரம் அப்படிம்பாங்க என்ட்ரன்ஸில். தி காம்பவுண்ட் இஸ் யுவர் பாடி. ஸோ outside that will be a pond, or inside there that will be a pond to make you wash your karmas. Then there will be a chatram, meaning that food only runs this world. Then the Rajagopuram, so many
stairs.
So 7, 5, 9 they put it, and in the end somewhere else one piece of பொம்மை, what do you call that? Doll will be broken. கை இருக்காது, கண் இருக்காது. If you see in the கோபுரம், somewhere one திருஷ்டி போட்டு மாதிரி ஒரு பொம்மையை உடச்சி வச்சிருப்பான். That means that you are having this because of your karma. You have come to a body because of your karma. Some shortcomings. That's why you are like this. Then this Gopuram tries to tell you 5, 7, 9 are different things, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara, Indriyas, all those things. Then that is what we see. Then Vimana is where from where you have come out is the Garbhagraha. Above that is Vimana. Vimana is the highest awareness. So that attracts cosmic energy and that supports the Garbhagraha, the I in you. So each entry tries to tell you, 5 prakaras try to tell you that there are 5 indriyas, and different deities try to tell you that this is the power of Mooladhara, this is the power of Brahmanyatva, Ganesha, Subramanya, these Navagrahas are the 9 holes. Like that each tries to tell you a point in your body. Then the Shakti tries to tell you you are driven because of your consciousness. Then Lord tries to tell you that I am the form of Atma. And that is supported only by Vimana, means the highest awareness here. Vimana for man is from where he starts acting. So this tries to tell you, each temple tries to tell us that. So once you enter the temple, we say that everything is over, I am godly. So whatever sounds you want to make, shloka, nritya, vadya, gosha, upacharas, everything you make there so that it evaporates. It becomes divine. So beautiful concepts. No other culture can pose of all this. That's the problem. And if you forget this, then we are not Indians, or we are not Bharatiyas. Any other thing? ಅದು ಕೇಳ್ವೀರ್ಕ how to get rid of common cold. அது கொஸ்டின் இல்லையா? இது ஏதாவது ஆன்சர் குளோபல் எஜுகேஷனில் எல்லா ஆன்சரும் இருக்குங்கிறீங்களே. ஜலதோஷம் நெகடி. How to get rid of a common cold? In Swasti it's there. There is an answer already then. Okay. Oh, beautiful. So for everything there you have an answer here. Okay. And that works also, no?
Yes.
Perfectly, yeah. ஏன்னா நம்மளும் எல்லாரும் மாதிரி ப்ராமிஸ் கொடுக்கக்கூடாது. மோட்சம் ஒரு நாள் கிடைக்கும், கல்லோங்கே காமியாப் தின், ஒரு நாள் எல்லாம் சரியாகும். இல்லை, தட் இஸ் தி defeated அதான். இல்லை, தட் இஸ் தி state existing in this world. हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन. One day we will become all right. Another question. Bablu, no question. You want to have this question? அது யாருக்கும் புரியாமல் பேசினா தான் அமெரிக்கன் இங்கிலீஷ். If you hold castor oil in your tongue and talk English, it becomes Americanized. விளக்கண்ணை வாயில் வச்சுட்டு இங்கிலீஷ் பேசிட்டு இல்லை, மேக்கிங் ஃபன் ஆஃப் தோஸ். No questions, sir. What is the short? That is my question.
Did you call me by my name?
Too shocked, that's why. Oh.